in second period anymore. They're just too naughty. So here's what. Y equals mx is called slope-intercept form, and we like this guy, right? If it's like 5 and 3, we know 5 is our slope, up 5 over 1. We know 3 is our starting place. We love that, guys. We love that guy. But more often than not, things don't come in this form where y is alone. They come in this form right here, and that is called standard form. And here's the things that you need to know about standard form. Standard form has the x and the y on the same side. Most of the time, standard form has the x coefficient, that's that a, is positive. It doesn't have to be, but most of the time it is. And it equals a constant. It equals some weird number, right? Now, the problem is that we are going to be graphing these babies. And if we keep it like this, the only way to graph it is to use our t-chart, right? Which is not our favorite, especially when it's in this form. So what we mostly do, and we will spend today doing, is taking problems that start this way, because most of the time in math they do, and turning it into this guy, right? That's going to be our job today. It's nothing you haven't done before, but it is tricky, and there are tiny places to make mistakes, and I'm going to try to clean those up. So going on after today, I will simply say to you, hey, get y by itself, and that should be a skill that you know how to do, that you know how to move stuff around, because that's all we're doing today. We're moving stuff around. We're using the math rules to move stuff, and it's once you get it down, you're fine, but it's remembering the steps and being careful. So let's start with the first one, if you are ready. So we have 3x plus y equals -1, right? So we're going to start with a nice and easy one. We're going to get y by itself. That is our goal. Our goal is to say, hey, dude, you need to be all alone, because then it's really easy to graph. I got my m, I got my b. So I need to get rid of that 3x, right? He is added on. And I want you to think of this. When you're moving the x guy, in my mind, I picture a book, right? So I have the book laying open. And the spine of the book, right, is the equal sign. So what I do is I turn the page, right? He's on this side, and he flips over to this side. And the thing that lets me do that, that mechanism that lets me turn the page, is changing his sign. Does that make sense? So when you turn the page in your brain, if he's plus over here, when we flip him to the other side, he becomes minus. That's the other side of the page, right? So it's kind of, for me, a nice visual. I just think, and you'll see me walk by and do that. It's like, oh, just flip him over. And it's like, in my mind, I just see this book, right? So we're going to move this guy to over here. So here's what. We're going to, oops, let's get rid of that, stuff that, there we go. So we're going to do this guy here. Now, what we do often is we think, oh, we got a lot of room. We can't put it right here. We could put it right there. Here's a problem. One of those guys has an X, and one of those guys doesn't have an X, right? So we can't actually squish them together, because they will only combine with their own type. So what we need to do now is say, well, you're over there, but I can't cram you all together, so I got to give you each your own space, right? So when we do that, here's what we're going to do. This goes away because we have flipped him over, and we're going to say, okay, I need each of you to have your own space. I like the X guy a little better. He's a little fancier. So we want to have him go first, and we want to have the plain old number, the constant, go last. That also helps us with that y equals mx plus b. We're used to that. So now it's super easy to graph this guy. I would go to -1, which is so easy, and I'm going to go up 3, because you know me, I always go up. That's how I do it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go over 1 in the negative direction. For those friends of mine who are thinking, Mrs. Tarantino, I don't like doing that. I like going down. You are welcome to 1, 2, 3, but remember, then you'll go 1 in the positive direction. And look, it makes a line either way. Are we okay? So the first thing that we're going to do on all of these is turn the page. We're going to move the X to the other side, and with the mechanism we use is to do the opposite sign. And almost always it will be subtract, because standard form almost always has that X guy be positive. Right? Okay, stepping up our game a little bit. So here we go on the next one. And why the heck, let's see if I can make this better, is that graph way the heck up there? Oh, come here. There we go. Oh, look, I moved him. There we go. Okay, 5x minus 4y. This bad boy is not easy. This has everything in it. It's got all the things that we need to do, and it's not hard, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I kind of got mean really fast. Look at me. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice, and again, whether you listen to me or not, that's all up to you. 30 years of correcting bad mistakes. What happens most commonly is that kids forget that this negative, it's not really a minus, it's attached to that 4, right? People will do this whole problem, and this minus sign is just going to disappear. So I'm going to give you this advice. If you have a minus right there, attach it to the 4. Like seriously, attach it. Go like this. Make that a plus and attach it, right? You don't have to, but it will help you remember that that's not just some random sign that's floating in space. It is attached to that 4, because at some point we're going to have to deal with him. So the more I can attach him, the better. Okay, so our first step is turn the page, right? We're going to turn the page. We're going to do negative here. We put him over here. We know these guys cannot combine because they don't have the same last name. So here's what we have. Do you see why I attached it? Because what we have now is negative 4y equals negative 5x. And that's going to be a positive 12. Am I cool with that? Yeah? So many kids don't attach it, and when they go to that next step, that minus just disappears, just floats away. Now we're going to go in a whole new direction and to say, now I need to get this y by itself. And it has a wife, right? They're attached to each other. Oh, I shouldn't tape this. Oh, well. I know that they're married because they're multiplying. Get it? Okay, so shut up. That was a cute joke. So I'm going to have to undo them. I'm going to have to split them apart. So if they are multiplying with each other, the opposite of multiply is divide. So I have to divide him away, and I take the negative with it. And what I do to one side, I do to the other completely. So he gets divided by negative 4, and he gets divided by negative 4. So there's really two things happening here. There's turning of the page, which is add, subtract, and then there's dividing. So we got to get in our brain, we do both things at different times. We're almost done. These guys cancel out. They actually make 1. Yay. Y equals. Now 5 over 4, negative 5 over negative 4, I'm totally fine with that. I like fractions. I don't have to do anything. But the two negatives, hey, look at that. They become positive. So do I need to make this into 1 1/4? No, or 1.25? Absolutely not. We're totally good with that. And then finally, negative 4 goes into 12, negative 3 times. That is hard. There's lots of steps there. They're not steps that you don't know, right? It's all algebra steps, but there's a lot of them. So graphing him, super easy. We start at 3. We go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. The graphing is the easy part. The getting it ready, pain in the butt part. Yeah? You guys ready to try one on your own? Yeah? Was that a no? I heard that. Is that you, Blaine? I heard you. Go ahead and try this bad boy. If it helps you, use your whiteboard desk and do it big, right? So remember, we start by turning the page and then getting that y by itself through division, right? And remember, this guy, he is attached to that too. Attached to that. Lots of steps on that. When you have an answer you like, will you kind of set right out what you think M is and what you think B is kind of on your whiteboard desk nice and big so your neighbors can kind of see what you got, and then I can kind of walk around and see what you got. I'm going to try to see if I can do it in my head really quickly. Yeah, okay. So that should be positive over there. Then 1/2, yeah. Oh no, I did it backwards. Sorry. Yeah. So you want to write on your desk? Oh, look at you on fire. Fire. So nice. Sorry? Yeah. Do it. Do it. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Nice. Look at you. Oh, nice. You feel okay? Oh, nice and big. I appreciate that. Makes it so easy for me. Hey, so many people look really good on this, right? Did you get y equals 2x plus 3? Right? Is our slope? Our slope on this one would be 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and our starting point would be 3. How are we? Does anyone need me to do it? We feeling okay? Yeah, so nice and easy. We're going to start, if we were going to graph it, we'd start at 3, up, and we're going to go up to 2 over 1. Should look something like that. Last one, best one, and then we're quiet for the day. A couple things you might want to do. Throw some ones on there. Might make your life a little bit easier to throw a few ones on there. Because even though they look like they have no numbers in front of them, they do. They have ones. You don't have to, but if it was me, I might throw a few ones on here to make my life a little easier, and I might do that. Truly, if I was doing that, that's what I would do. Bye, COVID kids. That's the whole lesson. Good luck. Have fun. Have a